Well, we renovate our homes, we'll change our hair color, and even update our wardrobe. But my next guest believes there's another area in life that we may need a makeover: your emotional intelligence. The research shows that only 10% of success comes from a person's intelligence, or IQ, and the other 90% is attributed to one's emotional intelligence. Studio 5 relationship contributor Dr. Townsend will list 5 signs that you're in need of an emotional makeover so that you can flourish and thrive. He's going to tell us how to revamp our EQ. Welcome, Matt.
Good to be here.
When I was first reading it, I was like, what is EQ?
Never heard of that.
Well, I mean, I have. I think it was just kind of like, I was just thinking IQ.
Yeah.
But EQ, explain a little bit more of the EQ.
So your emotional intelligence is your ability to recognize, manage, feel for others, explore, enroll them into emotion. It's your ability to understand and kind of master the emotional side of life. And they're finding out it is the #1 tool for happiness in family, life, and work. It's the #1 skill set. And the coolest thing about it, totally teachable.
Okay.
You can learn, you can grow, you can strengthen your emotional intelligence.
This is something I feel like we've really been focusing on in our family with our kids.
Yeah.
Because
Good.
I'm realizing I need to strengthen my emotional intelligence so that I can help them.
That's right.
Which is a lot of pressure.
That's right.
It's a lot of pressure.
Right.
But you're saying there is hope, we can learn it. What's our first sign?
The first sign is if you, and think of anybody in your life, but if you or anybody else has difficulty understanding their own emotions.
Okay.
If they don't get their emotions, and the minute you want to have an emotional talk, if they immediately hide and run from it, they tend to do these things. They make excuses. Like, I only did that because I hadn't eaten because you didn't get home on time. And so we blame, we project. They have a hard time apologizing. They have a hard time actually admitting any error that they've ever made because they've never gone inside enough. So the solution is self-awareness. One of the first keys to emotional intelligence is become really aware of your emotions. Start to recognize your emotions. Name your emotions. One of the rules is if you can name an emotion, you can tame it. Once you can see it in you and like, oh, I'm getting angry, all you have to do is see it and say it out loud to yourself or others. That helps you start to get some control over it. You then start to see that emotions are good. They're guiding us for good things in life. And you become much more able to start to like share your emotions and feel your own emotion. But eventually we'll show you feeling your own emotion helps you understand other people's emotions.
I also feel like normalizing it.
Yeah.
Because I think we judge ourselves and we make it about us and we get really.
We don't talk about it.
No.
It's like a weakness.
Yes, we like pull it inside. But if we normalize it, when we talk about it and name it to tame it. I love that. You say people with low emotional intelligence also have a difficult time managing their emotions.
They're very reactive and they don't know how to pull down their emotion in an argument. So you'll see that when you're talking to them, it might escalate and they get meaner and meaner. They project, they throw things onto you, but they also might run more and they're always avoiding you. They don't know how to have an emotional conversation where in the moment of talking, they can lower their emotion. They don't know how to do that. Part of that is because they're not self-aware. So then once you're self-aware, you can start to regulate, right? You can't regulate something you don't know. Once you know it, you can regulate it and see it. You can start to tie it. So one of the things we try to teach people to do is start noticing when you're feeling the emotion grow and try to notice it as early as you can. If you wait too long, your body turns totally flooded for fight or flight, and at that point, you're already lost. You're not going to have a deep conversation after you're already flooded, ready to survive. It doesn't work.
It's so hard because I also feel like it's one of those things that, like, in the moment, it's so high. We're flying on this high, but what you're saying is if we can bring it down and recognize. And
especially
so
even after, like, let's say we just had a bad moment, I can go back and get self-aware and understand what emotions were I feeling, what triggered that emotion, where did I really learn that, and then what could I have done in the moment, and then quickly go back and apologize, and we reconnect, and we can learn together how to do this.
I think saying sorry is so understated.
It's so understated.
It's so understated.
Anybody that has a hard time doing it, there's a history, and there's definitely an emotionally a lack of emotional intelligence in that area.
And that leads us kind of the next one. I know an important part and sign of emotional intelligence is empathy. So how does that play a role?
So think about it. So if I'm aware of myself and I can regulate myself, all empathy is my ability to understand you. So if I'm empathic, I can actually get into your story. I can hear what you're feeling. I can go there with you. And because I have my own awareness, I can understand your side a little bit better. So it's my ability to actually step in, to not minimize what you're saying, to not say, oh man, it must be that time of the month, or go say some extremely crazy thing and invalidate. It's my ability to step in, understand, and literally try to feel what you're feeling so that it changes me, it moves me. And that empathy is a powerful tool. So one of the things we could do to grow more empathy is all we have to do is listen more. But instead of listening to reply, and to or defend, what if we listen to just discover? What if I get more curious about what you're saying? Try to explain that to me more, because I've never felt that feeling. I've never been a mom. I've never worried all the day about something. Tell me what that feels like, and go a little deeper.
We all want to be understood.
Yeah.
We all want to be heard.
Basic need.
Oh, so good.
Basic need.
What do our relationships tell us about our emotional intelligence? How does that translate?
The coolest thing about so anybody having relationship problems, there's an emotional intelligence component to it, right?
Yeah.
People that don't understand, they're not empathic with others, they have a hard time socializing with them. So they tend to be a little more offensive, and they tend to have a harder time connecting. If you are somebody that tends to offend others, you're too blunt, you're too direct, you're too cold, you're too detached, you're too any of those things, you probably haven't gone through enough empathy yet to actually show the person I care. Remember that great quote, I don't care how much you know until I know how much you care. Empathy shows I care, and then I can use social skills to tell you what we could do about it and fix it. But we need social skills. So the antidote to this lack of social grace is we need more tools. You can go read books, come to date nights. You can go learn the tools. There's a million tools out there to grow relationships. People that are struggling and want to renew their emotional intelligence, they need to be reading.
They need to be reading. Okay, last 30 seconds. What is your final sign of low intelligence?
Low emotional intelligence is they have a hard time staying motivated. Because they've never gone deep enough to find a deep inner purpose, they can't be consistent in their motivation. So they give up easily, they blame you when they're not motivated, they blame you when they're not acting, they don't get stuff done as easily, or they get stuff done at the expense of all people. They blow up and they're only motivated at the last minute, 5 minutes before we're going, now everyone's angry, get in the car, and they blow up. So emotional intelligence is about self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, social grace, and motivation. Motivating myself to do stuff and motivating you into my goals. That is the most robust tool set we've got. And it's fixable, it's learnable. If you've got any relationship issue going on, don't just call them a narcissist. Get into emotional intelligence.
And one of the ways to do that, continue that education, date night. It's not too late to sign up.
And this is the last week. It's this Saturday, you guys. Saturday, February 8th, 7 p.m. at the Gail Miller Campus Center in Sandy. Tickets we're running out because it's a smaller venue, and get them now. Bring those people that need emotional intelligence.
They need it.
And we'll drill it home.
Thanks, Matt.